So 3 is the one that I remember when the franchise becomes familiar to me as a kid, because I remember my mom and I think my stepdad, when they just first got together, this was like one of their earlier dates, and I remember her telling her friends about the kills, about the not the kills per se, but the 3D effects, like the yo-yo and like the eye popping out and all that shit. So I was like, I was too young to see it, but I wanted to see it so fucking bad. Well, you know what I'm saying? Just because of the 3D effects, because I remember we saw Jaws 3D, and I remember how garbage that was. And even at 7 years old, I was like, this is some dog shit.
Well, the whole 3D revolution came at that same time. You had Jaws 3D, Amityville 3D,
which was crap,
and Friday the 13th 3D,
which was dope.
Well, I think they all use the same camera system too, if I'm not mistaken. I think they were all utilizing the same thing, because that was like the biggest trend. Like before Avatar, hey, 3D's coming back, and we got to do it bigger and better. So, three major horror film franchises in the early '80s jumped on this bandwagon, and
only one of them's memorable.
Actually, the other two, I like Jaws 3. I'm not gonna lie.
Jaws 3 is dog shit.
It is supposed to be dog shit, but it's not
great supposed
dog
to be.
shit.
Why would you? Something's supposed to be dog shit.
Because the
only thing that's supposed to be dog shit is actually dog shit.
Hey, McDonald's is not the greatest, but it's fucking tasty. I'll take a Big Mac when I'm in the mood for it, because sometimes
You're comparing McDonald's to dog shit?
Yes, I am.
He's well right on that.
I feel like dog shit. I feel like dog shit after I eat McDonald's.
Sometimes I want to have that. So guess what?
You're a sadist, my brother. You're a sadist.
No, sometimes you just want to have some junk food, and that's what that is. Now, here's what makes, and just going off topic real quick. Jaws 3D is not a great film, but it's a fun film. Friday the 13th. That's subjective, man. Friday the 13th Part 3, people have his qualms with it. I think it's a great fun film.
People got problems with 3, generally speaking? With Friday?
I think they do.
I've never heard nothing.
I think some folks do, some folks don't, and I think in terms of mainstream cinema, people were like, "Oh, that's just a gimmicky film."
They don't know shit. But the thing is that I had never seen it actually in 3D. I didn't get the box set where you have the 3D glasses.
I did it with the glasses. It was kind of a pain in the ass. I'm not gonna lie. But because when I got my stuff, it was like the red and blue, old school stuff, and I was like. Yeah, I lasted for like 5 minutes. I was like, I'm over this shit.
I like it the way it is. I understand with the parts. That's the one with the fat dude that
Shelly.
Yeah, Shelly.
And he gave Jay his mask. So
and he knocks over the motorcycles. Right. And then
that's a fun group. You know what I like?
I like that group. That's one of my favorite groups.
Yeah, and I like how you and Les talked about the different movies. Was depending on what group you like, you might like the different. You might like the different movies. You know what I mean? I really thought the group in 3 were fun.
They were fun. I like
and they fit.
Dude.
They fit.
They weren't
a lot of the groups don't fit.
They had great chemistry. They weren't the best actors. In fact, Shelley wasn't even an actor, but they had great chemistry. It was a fun group to watch. Basically, Friday the 13th is like watching the Scooby-Doo mystery kids get slaughtered, and depending on what iteration you like.
The group in 5 was whack, but keep on 3.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
So we'll get to that, but
he loves 5.
I do love 5.
Okay,
but we'll get to that though. I know you and Les had some concerns over some of the transition shots because of the 3D and how they would do things.
I just had an issue because I edit a lot of shit, so I know for me when I see stuff like, damn, there was dust and scratches, damn it. The
director in you comes out.
Yeah, and I know that. If I had a discussion, I don't know who did 3.
It was very ashy.
It was Steve. It was
very ashy.
Was a Miner came back.
It was Steve. Steve Miner came back, but because the camera equipment, they had a lot of problems with those. They were new cameras. They were delicate.
I don't know if that's a pass because I wouldn't say the scratches are on all the 3D shots.
No, well, I guess dust was a big issue with that. Yeah. And those cameras are very expensive, so they really had to be careful with what they were doing. They just even set up the shots because they didn't do it before. It was just a real pain in the ass. It was a unique and challenging shoot, but I heard Steve Miner was a real great guy on set and just kept it as best as he could. I thought the transition scenes worked fine. I thought it was smart how he utilized the 3D, given for what he was working with.
Yeah.
I remember the kills though were just so much fun in that.
They were and they were
like
bloodier.
The harpoon. And then he just walks into the house like, oh shit, I left my stove on. And just like this, he just walks right back into the house.
He drops the harpoon.
Yeah, drops the harpoon, boom,
But if you look at the kills, though, they actually got a lot bloodier. 3 is a bloodier film than 2, and I'm surprised he got away with that.
Well, he's getting nicer. He's getting nicer. The Jason is growing.
No, I'm not talking about.
I know what you're saying, but I'm saying I'm talking like in story mode.
Well, in story mode, yes, but I'm not. But in terms of what the MPAA allowed as opposed to what happened in the year of 1981 to 1982, I mean that whole scene where they cut dude in half when he's doing a handstand. Wow, that was dope because you actually see the body and the guts hanging out when you see him stuffed up.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he got away with that. And I was like, right on. That is fucking awesome. Yeah. Or when he cut the biker dude's hand off.
Oh yeah, that was so dope.
That would always freak me out.
But it was funny because like what, you know, he was just chilling there, knocked out for all those hours. And
that was Ali, right?
Yeah.
Ali,
well, dude, he got knocked the fuck out, and he came back pissed. It happens.
Yeah, and then was that the pitchfork? Or was two of the pitchfork?
No. Okay.
Pitchfork was with the girl, right? It was
both Fox? The girl and the guy. Fox, I think Fox. So she was stuck in the barn.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
with the pitchfork through him, and I believe he took that same pitchfork and stabbed the other guy too.
Rest in peace to her in real life.
Oh, she passed away.
She passed away young, right?
No, I just saw her on the Camp Crystal Lake Memoirs.
She's on that
documentary.
She died. That was part 3.
Wasn't it like 2011 or something?
It was recently. I'll tell you right now.
That really breaks my heart because you know what? I enjoyed watching her talk about the film. She had a great energy, and attitude, and appreciation for what she did on that. She seemed to be
Gloria Charles. She played.
Yeah.
She passed.
What year was that? 11, right?
She passed in 16.
16. Okay.
December 16. I think she must have had cancer or something along those lines.
Yeah.
Wow. She was. You know what? A lot of these actors have unfortunately passed away.
Right.
Oh yeah. Even the girl that was playing strip poker in the first one with Alice.
Yeah.
With the little shorts on.
Yeah.
She
was
died.
dope.
She died young, man.
Yeah.
Cancer.
You know, they really killed that snake in that.
Yeah, that's right.
I think that was I also believe that was Tom Savini's idea as well too.
Yeah.
So
but part 3 though, dude. Well, what do you think about part 3?
Well, real quick, Mark died too.
No.
In the wheelchair.
Oh yeah.
Him. Yeah. Part 3.
Yeah.
Now a lot of people say, for the majority, people will say 4, the kills, he was more vicious.
Yes.
But as far as visually looking at Jason standing there, 3, he looked the scariest to me. Just if you were to watch him lumber and move.
Right.
With that green shirt.
I love that one.
Because he was stalking at the time. It seems like if you look at the transition between 2 and 3, now it looks like he's finding his groove. He's becoming more confident, much more of a stalker.
Right. So, 3, I really like the kills in 3. You know, the 3D is I can take it or leave it on that.
I'll leave it on that one. I tried watching, like I said before, I tried watching it and I was like, it's too much of a hassle.
3D movies are kind of tough to do those.
Right. You have to see them live at the spot.
Even the real 3D, I don't really feel that much.
But there is a defect though. So when you watch a 2D version, if you notice like the outlines of the camera work, they're blurry. And that's because, again, the 2D aspect, it was shot in 2D. So when you go make the transition from 3D to 2D, there's that little blurred effect at the borders of the camera.
3, you had another element to me, not just the forest, but you had the barn now, right? So once you go into that barn, there's some other shit going on.
Yeah.
I love that.
You know, when was it Fox? Yeah, she was swinging back and forth.
Yeah, that was freaky. How she was like, "Woo!" and all of a sudden he looks up, she's not
gone.
there.
Yeah,
and there's a quietness of it.
That was filmed in Saugus at the Valuze Movie Ranch, by the way.
Yeah, it's in Northern California, correct?
Correct.
Right.
Yep. Somewhere near Magic Mountain, I want to say, somewhere out that way.
They've done a lot of films out over there.
Yeah.
So you couldn't tell. I mean, you could tell, but I didn't know that until recently. I thought they were all shot upstate New York, New Jersey.
Somebody went to the street where they picked up, where Shelley and them pick up the first girl, Vera, I think it is.
Oh, that neighborhood.
Yeah, I want to say it's in California.
That looked like a Cali. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
That looked like a Cali neighborhood.
Yeah, somebody went back and got a before and after type thing. So. Yeah, 3 was good, man. Like I said, that crew, I roll with that crew.
Yeah, I like that crew
I
too.
like Shelley's character, what he brought to the table. Like, okay,
it was fun.
That's going to surface later on, right?
Yeah.
But it was cool. He was prankster, right?
Yeah.
Which he always have to have.
He brought in the mask, right?
Yeah, he brought in the mask, and it's funny. Friday 13th also established, going what you said too, the characters. You always have to have the Joker, the serious girl, the kids who are being the promiscuous,
right.
So the thing with the mask is that everyone thinks that it's like a big giant reveal when he got his mask.
It wasn't. The special effects guys and all. I know what
you're saying, but it's like you would think that because that became the iconic thing is that the hockey mask.
They were looking for something new, and so I believe one of the guys who worked in the film was a big hockey guy, so he carried it with him. So that was actually his mask.
That was his mask.
He carried it in the back of his car because they were looking
in his backpack.
They were looking for something new for Jason to wear, and like, what about the hockey mask? Showed it to the guys, and they're like, we're gonna go with that. And I believe they made a replica of that for him.
3 had a good set-off opening too, with Harold and his wife at the store with with the sheets hanging.
Yep.
That was a nice little intro, man. A nice little swerve as far as you're not just in the trees, in the woods.
Right.
No,
This
that
set
was
it off.
dope.
It took it out. It took it out of there.
It took it into like what we see, stores.
Yes.
You know,
And I thought
sheets.
that's what
The
I
local
felt,
town store.
Going
Yes.
back to part 2, that's why I like part 2, the intro, so much.
Yeah.
Is that it took it out of Camp Crystal Lake. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just a little.
The
just a
surrounding,
little-
it takes you to the surrounding areas. Like
Right.
his stalking ground is basically wherever connects that lake to.
That
Right.
first scene was dope, man.
Yeah.
With at that store.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
kill,
really
those
dope.
kills? Yeah.
Really, really
So,
dope.
So let's talk about some a concern or controversy people may have with 3, and that is with did Jason rape the girl, the final girl? There was always
Oh yeah, because she kept saying that I saw him, I know him.
and,
Yeah.
and for years there were people talking.
I don't
about
think
rumors.
Jason raped her.
Well,
They didn't show
I
that.
think he's
They were-
asexual. He's definitely asexual.
Well, they were. I think even the writers and directors said they were kind of playing back and forth. Should he? Shouldn't he? And I think they said that was just too dark and they didn't want
Didn't
that.
she get away from that? He
Yeah,
was
she
chasing
got
her?
away.
Yeah, she got away. So it was kind of ambiguous. Like you don't know, did he do something or did he just chase her? We don't know.
I don't think he's a rapist. I think he's asexual.
I think they no. Well, I think they talked on the documentary. I could be wrong, but they played around with the idea, but they were like, nah, that's just too dark. The movie would then
Yeah.
be too dark, and they were like,
Right.
let's just make it ambiguous and just not really go there. With
That
it.
felt
yeah.
inserted. That
Yeah,
whole
it-
scene, they didn't. Need
yeah,
that
we didn't
whole,
need that
she
shit.
would go back up there. You
Yeah.
know, I don't know. That
Yeah,
felt
if
like
you saw
a
a
TV
deformed-
spot.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like they needed that scene for TV.
Right.
I
If you
wasn't
see
feeling
some
Well,
it.
they had
deformed
to- they had to
motherfucker in
find
the
an
woods,
excuse.
I'm gonna stay away from the woods
Well, they
where
had
that
no-
deformed motherfucker's
Right,
coming at
right,
me.
right.
It was
Exactly.
was
Especially
classic.
those woods.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, again, there was really not a real true good sense of continuity. They were like, okay, we have to connect this to 2, but let's do some other things with that to give it
Right.
some spice. And let's have her reasoning for going through something be that reasoning.
But
Like,
common
so-
sense saying, I ain't going nowhere near those woods. You know what I'm saying? If it's some
How you gonna apply?
motherfucker
You
with
cannot,
this,
wait, first of all, you cannot apply common sense to this last year because if
That-
common
that's
sense
true.
applied,
There'll be no
none of these
movie.
people would have been dead. I'm just saying.
there'd be no movie. But
Exactly.
I'm just saying.
So
you know.
common sense need not apply.
So, but yeah, but that goes into my favorite of the franchise, part 4.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
the
Okay.
reason, you know why? It's
Watch
I-
him as a trilogy because 4, he's a full-on hunter at this
yeah,
time.
but no, but the reason why is I have a lot of like memories
Yeah, okay.
with it. I remember it being a big deal.
Right.
In the
Yes,
trailers.
it was.
Final chapter, Jason's finally gonna get it. I mean, I remember everyone
It was an event.
it was an event.
It was because
Like, you know, like We Are the World and like the Thriller video and like, you know, the
Right.
final chapter, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't see it in the theater and
It's on
no one I
VHS,
knew
all kinds.
yeah. Well, I saw it on HBO. But I remember my grandma, we lived in Connecticut at the time, and my grandma, she's also a horror fan, and we all were on the couch. We had the Jiffy Pop or whatever.
Oh, I remember
And-
those days.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
And then
Beginning of
Jiffy
Scream,
Pop,
right?
yeah,
Yeah,
and
Top
we,
of the stove and shit.
dude, we watched it, and my grandma's rest in peace, but she's really funny, and she was adding her little quips and lines, and it was just an event. It was just so much fun. So that's attached to it, so that's why it always gets a little nod. But then the movie itself, the kills were vicious. The way he got by Tommy Jarvis was vicious. But the thing is, I want to say one thing. So Tommy Jarvis gets the credit, right? But fucking, what's his sister, Trish?
sister, yeah.
Trish,
She did some
she put
damage.
it on Jason.
She put it on. She put in
She
work.
softened
She
him
did.
up.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And he was able to just boop. You know what I'm saying? Because she whipped his ass. She dropped the TV on him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? She was whipping his.
She was
motherfucking
protecting
ass.
her little brother, which
yeah.
no one gives her credence
It
for.
was vicious on both ends because Jay took a couple of L's.
Oh yeah, he took a
like
lot.
the TV. was one of them.
The machete through the fingers.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That was incredible. I mean, Jason, like, he grabbed the bitch from the window, threw her down. I mean, he was just whipping ass in that movie.
He was
hard.
No,
you know?
he was aggressive. That was him on a, he finally became the hunter that he finally became the hunter what he should have always been.
Right.
It was well directed. It was directed by the guy who did The Prowler, Joseph Zito. If you haven't seen The Prowler, 1981, an amazing film by this guy. I kind of wish he would have
I
done
want
more
to see
work.
that one.
He got the job based on his work on The Prowler, and he also worked with Tom Savini on The Prowler and that.
Damn.
And then again, as out of incentive, but Tom Savini wanted to come back to finally kill off Jason since he felt like he created him, and which
Right.
he did actually technically
He
create
did.
Jason.
Yeah.
So what more can you say? I thought the film was shot great. I love the group on that one, not as much as I like 3, but I thought it was a great group. It showed.
Remind me some of the people in the group. That group.
Okay, so you had the Spearmint twins.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I love those chicks. They were
You
fine
had,
too.
You had and then you get Crispin Glover.
Oh yes, Christopher Glover
George McFly.
and the kid from
American
Last American
Virgin.
Virgin, the Last American
And the
Virgin.
Mask too, right? Was he in the Mask with
with yes, he was his friend, right?
Was he?
Right,
Yeah, with Eric Stoltz.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but Last American Virgin, he got it. He was watching some weird porn.
Yeah.
And the Crispin Glover dance.
One of those little old school nudie films.
Yeah.
Right.
And then the Crispin Glover dance where he's just doing that little thing.
Yeah.
That was dope. We should try that one day.
On the DVD, or the Blu-ray or whatever, they have outtakes of his dance, different versions. The shit is hilarious, dude. If you ever get a chance to watch the outtakes.
Great actor, by the way.
Oh, Crispin Glover. You ever seen the movie he did with the rat Ben?
No, I haven't seen that.
Dude, that he was creepy as fuck in that shit. That shit is a really good
I did like him
movie.
as a thin man in Charlie's Angels 1 and 2.
No, I don't watch that shit. Sorry.
What?
You alone on that one, then.
That might have been the worst movie I've ever seen. The second.
Oh, you're killing me. I love
Fully
those
Throttle?
movies.
Fully Throttle or what?
But Charlie's Angels, the second one's trash, dude.
Yeah.
Serious. That one and Cabin Fever might have been the worst movie. I've
Oh, you hurt me, son.
Yeah, man, Cabin Fever, bro.
We
That
gotta
had
talk about that.
on its face. It was cool as far as the
Is
concept.
that Eli Roth?
Yeah.
Yep.
Shout out Eli, man. I'm just saying I didn't like that movie.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, but four is my favorite. What is that? How do you rank? How would you rank 4? Where would you rank 4 at?
I would rank 4 of the trilogy of the first initial Jason trilogy.
Just in general. How about just in general?
Just in general, right? The first 3 are my favorite, and then 4 is like a strong second.
Okay.
Possibly creeping up there with the other the other 3, and I'll tell you why, because again, it's the end of the trilogy when he passes. So, and again, it kicks off the Tommy Jarvis trilogy that comes next. So it was like a passing of the torch.
I like and the thing with Tommy Jarvis, I was the same age as him at the time, and I always felt like when I was a kid we would be friends because of his love for horror and
that's just kind of creepy on so many levels.
What do you mean? I can't be friends with a
He's like a fucking actor on TV.
No, I'm not talking about the actor. I'm talking about the character Tommy Jarvis.
This kid just murked out a fucking adult. You want to be friends with that guy?
Prior to that, I want to be buddies with Tommy Jarvis.
Well, he did have some cool stuff.
It was like this.
Okay, fine. Okay, I'll give you that.
Yeah. Afterwards, I don't know.
It was good. I thought the pacing was really well. I thought the movie was well edited and had great pacing. What do you think, Mike, on the pacing of it as an editor?
Yeah, as an editor, it was fine. I mean, it moved. Mm-hmm. It moved. I mean, I didn't think it was. Like, it's not my worst one.
Right.
It's probably middle of the pack for me.
Really?
Yeah, I mean...
I felt that way for a long time, too, so you're not alone in that.
Yeah. Okay. I always had it in high regards. That one's always, like... a lot of the lists I see on YouTube or whatever when people list it, it's always, like, in the top 3. So that's why I'm surprised.
There were some layers, like, with Sandra's brother came back trying to find what was going on.
Right.
Yeah.
Which, that's another layer,
right.
But... that crew, I can't really get with that crew. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I mean, the twins were cool.
Yeah, the Spearman twins.
Glover, Marty McFly.
Yeah, they were cool. I mean,
George McFly, no?
Yeah,
my dead fuck.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a computer.
He's all put this in your computer and he had her panties or whatever. It was okay, man. It didn't do it for me. I mean, I'm still on a high note from 3, I think 2 and 3 at this point. But
Gotcha.
What I like about 4 a lot, and 4 has been really creeping up because you at one time I felt it was middle road for me, and then over the years it definitely has gone up. But I like the 84 feel of that movie. Some films weren't with me better depending on the when it came out, and I love the flavor of 1984. I felt they captured that perfectly with that group. I agree with you. The group from 3 was funner. But I love the feel. I love the year 1984. I think it was a great year for me growing up.
Okay.
And I love that flavor. I love the smell of it. And I thought, to me, it's like a trip down memory lane. And so for me, that's why I like this film quite a bit. And it's why it's constantly has been going up the ladder in terms of my favorites.
That was Judy Aronson, right? She got killed in the raft. That was 4, right?
Yes.
Okay, so the kills were dope, like we talked about.
The kills were. He was
threw a girl out the window.
Yeah, threw a bitch out the window. Do the thing. I mean, he was dope in that.
There were some good elements, kill wise. I didn't know.
No, okay. Maybe I always miss it. Maybe you guys can help me out.
Like Richard Brooker.
Trish and Tommy's mom. Did she get it?
She got. I believe it was
they
off.
They show her going like. Right?
Yeah, okay. I think it was off camera. She was an off-camera kill.
I always okay.
You know what was a trip though is when Jason killed that dude in the shower when he crushed his fucking skull.
Yeah.
I was like, that was dope. That came out pretty good.
Yeah. Now he was vicious. I guess the same Jason from 3 was in it. I mean, there's 2 credits in here, and I don't know if they're giving credit from the beginning.
No, it was a different stunt guy.
It was either Richard Brooker or Steve Dash. Is the only 2 I'm seeing.
I always thought it was Richard Brooker. I always thought it was.
Okay, no, it was Richard Brooker because the stunt guy who played on 3, they called him a gentle giant. I forgot his name, but he was a really nice, tall dude, but they called him a gentle giant. Very nice guy.
That was not Richard Brooker.
No, Richard Brooker was in 4, and the thing about Richard Brooker was he was an established.
Brooker was in 3. He was the
okay. Then, no, there was a different stunt guy for
And Steve Dash was the other guy.
No, maybe his name was Dick something. Then maybe
okay.
It was an established stuntman for 4.
Which is the one that hated Corey Feldman?
Ted White.
Ted White. So here's the thing. So
is that the one that hated Feldman?
Yes, he did.
So Ted White was in 4 then.
Yeah, Ted White was an established Hollywood stuntman, and so they were asking. So for them, they were like, "Hey, we really kind of need you to pull us off on this one." So he took the job on that, but he wanted to screen the first 3 movies. Saw what he did, and again, he's a man close to his 50s at the time, I believe.
Yeah, he's old now. Yeah,
coming from old school Hollywood, took the job as something serious. And during the raft scene with that, what's the actor's name that was in
Judy
the book?
Aronson.
Judy Aronson. She was. It was cold. She was shivering. She was turning blue. Yeah. Told the director, if you don't fucking cut this out right now, I'm walking away from this. Good luck finding a replacement.
She said that.
Yeah, and he said he backed that up because they had her out in the nude dark trying to shoot it, and it was just unbelievably cold, and he was not going to sit there and let her suffer like that because that's bullshit.
So he wanted to get it done.
No, he told him reshoot the scene or do something differently. Get her warmed up. Don't let her be out there suffering. Like he stuck up for her because the poor thing was freezing her ass off. Right. And Joseph Zito was like, "Now we need to get this shit done." Now.
I was gonna say what they do because they shot that scene.
I'm having a senior moment. I forgot, but they were able to get it worked out and they shot the scene without her having to suffer that much more. But I think she got hypothermia from that though.
Yeah.
Wow. The thing
as a result of that.
That's crazy. The thing about Jason on that one, I always felt he's real menacing, but not like supernatural menacing. Like
no, he's not supernatural at all.
No. I'm talking about later on when he becomes.
Oh yeah, well that's different.
But I'm talking about in 4, he just felt like a menacing.
He's supernatural. He's supernatural.
Oh yeah, but no.
I'm talking about in part 4.
Yeah, part 4, he's still human.
Well, that's debatable.
Human,
right? I mean,
we'll get into. And I feel
because he's taking some hits and still living.
He's taking some hits, but it's.
And I love the little, with the it still has the
mask.
The mask still had the cut in it from part 3. You know what I'm saying? So little things like that because that could fuck up a whole.
But remember, he was a big dude who can take a lot of hits, and I'm sure he would have died eventually from his wounds because he never took care of it. But
Shaq could have took those hits and he would have died.
It don't matter. Like
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shaq don't take hits. What are you talking about? Shaq don't like big things.
Right. So 4 was cool. He took the hit in the end. Didn't Trish get him with that machete and he leaned on it?
He slid all the way down, and the eye and everything.
Yeah,
oh, God,
he took some hits, man. You know what
brilliant.
I mean?
You know what I mean?
Well, I think also keep in mind too. That's all he had to keep going was to kill. Like it was his anger, his rage. He had nothing less. I'm sure he was just going to go for broke, knowing that his time was coming. You know what I mean?
And then the ending with Tommy looking at the camera. Everyone thought Tommy was going to pick up the mantle.
That was actually the original plan.
Right.
Is that right?
Yeah, that was the original plan to kind of so. What had happened was the original. Well, let me back this up. The original plan was the series would be finished. However, the movie did amazing numbers, so they're like, "Well, we can't stop now." And then the idea was talked about. Well, then Tommy Jarvis would pick up the mantle and take over. Well, so starting to do 5 pre-production, Corey Feldman was now involved with the making of Goonies. So that kind of went out the door. There was no time to shoot that.
Yeah.
So they had to rewrite 5, and they made Tommy Jarvis's character someone who suffered from PTSD.
Wick, whack.
Yeah.
But anyway, we'll get into 5.
So they had original plans for Tommy Jarvis to pass the torch to Tommy Jarvis. Didn't quite work out. So we got 5. Now going on to 5. So I like 5, folks. I think it's the shit.